comments for you guys?
Really solid Tuesday, and I think really not just the Tuesday, but the Monday and the Tuesday coupled together coming off a bye week. I didn't feel like there was rust in these guys, and they came out, and the key will be 3 in a row because that third practice Wednesday always is, again, it's a challenge after a good Monday and, a lot of work Tuesday. So, but I'm excited about it, and how they're attacking it. I'm ready to roll.
When you guys are having the rough time on offense that you've been having,
Yep.
is it sometimes daunting to know what to start with, or there's a lot of stuff to deal with because it's not one thing that's causing the problem.
Right, it never is, in any situation, and it's not necessarily daunting. It's just continuing to work the pieces and put do the best you can. We all do the best I can to put ourselves in a situation that gives us the best chance for success. And I think you're going to see a little spark, these last 4 games, and you're going to see some different things happening in terms of some guys coming back or just some younger guys getting more reps, different things like that. So I'm excited about where they're at, and really, like I said, with their attitude and their mindset attacking it, I feel really good.
So I was going to say that attitude is reflected in what you're seeing in practice then.
Absolutely. They do a great job, because a lot of guys can start to splinter. They can start to splinter, and a locker room can splinter, and a lot of things can happen when you go through any stretch where things aren't successful or, as successful as you want them to be. And, and our guys don't do that. So I have a lot of respect for this crew out here.
Are there things that the coaching staff has to do to make sure that doesn't happen, or is that up to the players?
Yeah, you do things, and you carry yourself in a certain way, and you make sure that, but ultimately I give the credit to the players, because no matter what coaching staffs do, it comes down to those guys in the locker room and how they work, how they treat each other, how they just interact, how they grind through adversity. And to me, it's more of a compliment to the players than anything else.
Do you get the sense that they have the confidence that they can bounce back?
Absolutely, and they've done it before. In the times here, we've gone through stretches, we're 3 in a row and 17 and lost a few and found ways to win again, and we had stretches last year as well. So yes, I do. They have the confidence, they have the mindset, they have the talent, and and feel really good about it, what it'll be.
There's some talk that Mike Safell might be back. Can you talk about how important it would be to have him, and not only as a center, but just him and what he brings to the equation?
Yeah, we've talked about Mike a lot, and he does. He brings a lot to the table from his ability. He brings a lot to the table from his attitude, his energy, his juice. He's got all of those things going. So it does. It adds to what we do offensively. So yeah, we'd love to have Mike back, and and he's working hard to do that.
Do you hope to have Chase back at some point this year?
Do I expect to?
Do you hope to have him back sometime?
Yeah, I expect to.
Yep.
I do. I expect he's working hard, and I expect to win. I won't comment on. I have no idea, but I do expect it.
Coach the other day said that there was no announcement yet on who will start at quarterback. Can you talk about how the 2 guys are doing in practice this week?
Doing a great job, competing. That's the best thing I can say. They're competing hard. They're both working as a starter, and I say both. I say all 3. Robbie's not necessarily getting as many reps, but they're all working hard, to compete as the starting quarterback. So it's it's a tribute to, again, their mindset and their attitude.
We know you've had O-line problems, you've had injuries at the wideout, but everybody talks about how the quarterback, it's his record, and can you win with either of these guys, you think? You feel
Yes.
like that can happen?
Yes, absolutely.
What do they do when that shows you that?
They're practicing better and better every day, and they're starting to take, both of those guys are, Monster's not necessarily young, but he's young in this system, and you got to remember he missed some time early too when he had to, he wasn't eligible for those games, so he wasn't getting number 2 reps for weeks, so he's still young in this system, and Spencer's just young, period. So my confidence is the fact that from the first half to the middle portion of the season to the end, quarterbacks that haven't had a ton of experience should take big gains in the last, third of the season. So that's my expectation for both those guys.
And how has Spencer responded to his first start being such a tough one against such a good defense?
Responded well, and he handled it well in the game. And he was just he was in a tough spot in a lot of situations, and that defense has made it tough on a lot of people. They've made it tough on Oregon State at their place, made it really tough on Jaden Daniels, so you see it with a lot of guys, but he handled it really well, just during the game and after the game. So I like where he's at.
I know you can't speak to where Chase is injury-wise, but what have you seen from his demeanor while he's been injured? How hard he's been working to get back?
He just he does things. He's taking notes like he's going to start. He studies film like he's going to start. I mean, he does the things that you would do if you were truly going to start this week. So, his demeanor and his attitude is everything you would want from a guy who's injured right now.
He had just gotten some rhythm going, it felt like, and the offense was turning the corner a little bit. What kind of concerns do you have about sort of losing that momentum and rust and that sort of stuff?
No,
I come back.
I don't. I think there's like I said, I think there's opportunities. Before Garbers, is able to come back. I think there's going to be opportunities to turn a corner this last third of the season, and then obviously, again, I mean, who knows when? I can't even speculate or worry about that. It's more about who's playing right now, and I feel like, and that's not taking anything away from Garbers, but regardless of when Garbers comes back, I feel like there's going to be, again, a great opportunity to take huge strides in an offense in this last third of the season.
Well, Washington State's had some problems defensively, but they're really aggressive, get a lot of takeaways. What do you see in their defense?
They cause a lot of disruption is the word I would say. They play with an attitude. They disguise their zone coverage as well, so that's why, again, they'll create a lot of picks. They do a good job, again, in a lot of different zone coverages. Man teams, sometimes it's harder for a man team to get a lot of interceptions. A zone team has a chance to break on the ball, see the quarterback, so a lot of times you're going to create more turnovers that way, from an interception standpoint, that is. And they just cause a lot of havoc up front. They're penetrating, they're stemming, they're slanting, so sometimes that'll cause some meetings in the backfield, and fumbles and that sort of thing, or sacks on a QB. So they've done a great job, for a lot of years, and I know it's different coordinators, over the last 3 or 4 years, but you've seen still a similarity in how they play the game, and it's disruptive, it's working to get into the backfield, and it's breaking on the ball well.
Different coordinators in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks, yeah. I'm just going back to, Grinch.
Has there been a difference since they changed coordinators? Can you see?
A little bit, but if you wouldn't have known that, you might not have truly noticed it. I mean, it's not anything glaring, so I think whatever that was other things.
Is their personnel still a little maybe undersized compared to what you guys have faced?
Yeah, it's undersized, but it's not under talent, it's not under effort, it's not under ability. So that's how I put it. But yes, there are some spots where it's a little less girth, but that's why part of the reason they play the style they do, it fits their personnel well, and they're very smart in how they do that.
And they moved some guys around too, haven't they, since the change?
Yeah, they have.
Some position changes.
Yep, they have. They've moved some guys around, and and they rotate enough guys that you gotta put X's on all of them. Seriously. I mean, you just again, X's on all of them, and understand where you're working your points in protection or points in the run game. But who's going to be there? It could vary a little bit.
That's good.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.